Hey guys, okay, first I want to start out to some irony in this. I'm like, just say yes and figure it out later. And I sat here for how long, Christina, before I hit the go live button, right? It's just like my thing. I don't know. I'm live all the time and I still have a mind mess around just go live. Just do it. Just go live. Anyway, okay. So we're going to talk about saying yes first and then figuring it out later. Because I think what happens is, let's say, okay, you guys come up with all these goals or things that you want to do, right? And it's almost like you're afraid to say yes and go after something until you know how it's going to be done, and then you make that definite decision. So I'm going to say reverse that a little bit. So I want you to say yes first to whatever it is, and then allow the process to unfold to tell you how. Now, it's not just going, okay, yes, and having it float in outer space, right? What we're looking for is for you to make that definite decision, that committed decision, put a timeline on something and saying, this is what I'm going to do. So maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's losing weight. I am going to lose, 10 pounds by this date. So if you know that no matter what, you have that definite decision, you're losing 10 pounds by that date, what would you do? What are your actions? You see what I'm saying? It would change your actions. It would change the next course. What would you do to make that happen? Let's say it's a business goal or some financial goal. Once you make that definite decision and totally commit to it, you'd be surprised at how much unfolds to come into your experience. You're just visualizing, you're giving gratitude. You're so thankful that it's already in your experience, even if it's not. You're just training your brain that way, right? You're grateful that it's already in your experience. Now the universe sends you all these little messages, right? All these little sparks of inspiration. It says, okay, go do this or go do that. And it may even seem unrelated, but it's not your job to figure out what the universe is telling you to do, what God's telling you to do. It's not your job for that. It's your job to say, okay, so I'm going to do those things. That's going to be my next step. I'm just going to do it because you have such a definitive purpose or such a definitive committed decision that once you make that decision to say, I'm doing it in this time, you'd be surprised what unfolds. It's not your job to figure out the how-to. And I know this is where a lot of people get stuck in that analysis process. Now, Christina, who looks like my alter ego off my shoulder right now, right?
Hi.
She looks like my alter ego. You and I have had this conversation a lot of times because you have gotten, I know I have certainly, but you've also gotten stuck in analysis paralysis, right?
Yes, many times.
Many times. And it's still a thing. It's a theme that shows up.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So where does analysis paralysis get you?
Honestly, I really haven't had as much anymore just due to the fact that I've been doing everything you've been saying.
Like what? So what kind of stuff?
Everything. So I've been holding off. I've been holding off creating my website because I felt that I don't have the professional pictures, the whole theme that I'm looking to create. I don't have all of that set in stone yet. But yesterday I just kind of said, whatever. I'm just going to create my website. I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to let it unfold. And it's just ideas have just been flowing ever since then.
Right. So this is what happened. So you made the committed decision. You said, I'm going to do it. You took the steps. So if you're going to create a website, then you go to do the website,
exactly,
right? And you figure out what it takes, and you do the website. And the next thing you know, things start to unfold. They happen.
Yes.
But if you sat there in analysis process, which you had been in for ever.
For a long time.
Right. So analysis process gets us nowhere. That's the whole point. It's paralyzing. It gets you nowhere. So if it gets you nowhere, why keep doing it? I don't know, because we're human and crazy, right?
Yeah.
Why do we keep doing it? What if we were to try something else out and say, yes, make the committed decision to whatever it is. Yes, we're going to do it. And then whatever comes along the way, take those actions. Mm-hmm. So for me, one of the things, I'll give you an example. I've been in the middle of a book for, 15, 20 years.
Oh my God.
I've written it in my head many, many times, but I never sat down and wrote it on paper. I had started I shouldn't say I never did. I would start, stop. Now I'm okay, well, if I do just a little bit every day, eventually that's going to get done. Now I had this idea of a book. Well, from that, I actually have 3. And I realized that I had written 2 other books that I totally was that are sitting in my files. I just wrote them. They're complete. I probably have to go back to a few edits or whatever, but they're complete.
Yeah.
So when I made the committed decision, I said I would, and somebody asked me for that committed decision, which was very interesting. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm just going to do it. When I made the decision to do it, do you know what showed up for me? A publisher showed up, a distribution deal showed up, somebody to help me with the whole, all the peripheral stuff that happens with writing it. And then 2 other books that I had already written that I completely forgot about showed up. And I was like, oh, wait a second. I have those in my files.
Yeah.
But all that stuff already existed. It already existed, but I hadn't made the committed decision.
Yeah.
Now that I made the committed decision, what action? All those other things show up. And then, of course, for this book, the one that I'm in the middle of right now, I just get up, or I'm up early anyway, so I get up early every day. And I write a little bit. I used to think that I had to sit down and bang it out because that's actually how I wrote my other books, that I sat and just banged it out, right? And my challenge was, this is not like one of those, let me just bang out kind of books. Like, you know, like I was getting stuck and I kind of felt like if I didn't have the time to sit and bang it out, then I'm not doing it anyway. So there was my analysis paralysis, you know, kicking in. But I said, no, what if I just wrote? Just write all the stuff that's been in my head that I speak, all this stuff, just write it out and just keep doing, do a little bit every day. And then it starts to take form, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's happened. I actually have a little bit of like half the chapters. I have a little bit of each chapter already written, or like a little bit of half the chapters already written. And then I have 2 other books that are already done. It's like, see what I'm saying? Like you just have to say yes first, and then all the other things come into your experience. Now, I had an opportunity a couple weeks ago that I said yes to. Well, no, I said no to. Let's just be clear about that. I was like, absolutely not, right? I'm not doing it. And then it kept coming back with a better and better and better deal. And finally I said yes, which sent me into this whole like mind funk around it, right? Because I always talk to you guys about my like self-worth issues and why me and whatever. And it sent me into this whole like fear. Like, I'm not even going to call it fear. I'm going to call it like panic, because it like was total panic. Right, Christina? I was just in this like, what? And I was saying no because it felt so uncomfortable. I was saying no. And then I was like, well, what if that discomfort was to get me over this, whatever, you know, whatever it is. Like, what if I just didn't have to feel uncomfortable? So I came to resolution around some of it. When I said yes to that, it opened up all these other opportunities that I had been visualizing. I never thought it would have come in the form of that, right? Didn't it seem like so random?
Yeah, it was. And that's what you say, you never know how it's going to appear.
You never know.
Like, you never knew it was going to approach itself the way it did.
Never. So, and I know we sound like we're talking around it. I'm talking around it because I'm under a non-disclosure. So I have to talk around certain things right now. But it's not even the point of what the specifics are. The point is say yes, be committed to that yes, be committed to a time frame for whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your goal, be committed to a time frame, and then visualize it constantly, and then take all the actions, that you need to do. Like, it'll come, all the inspiration that comes, just start going into action. Nicole says, when you spoke about this at the event, or the one we just had this week, right? Completely related, felt like a brick on my chest. Oh yeah, no, I I hear you, Nicole. I hear you. And it's surprising about the things that will show up when you just start saying yes and committing to the yes, and how it brings other gifts your way that you just never even thought of. So that's what I want to leave you guys with today. Inspire you to say yes and then figure it out later. But it can't just be like, okay, yes, I'm going to be a diamond. Okay, yes, I'm going to do that. It's not that kind of, okay, yes, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. No, I need you like committed. Yes, this is happening by this date. That's it. That's it. That's it. Burn the ships. There's no other option. That's what's going to happen. That's what I'm going to do. When you put yourself in that mode, things start to unfold. The universe starts conspiring in your favor to give you exactly what it is that you want. So say yes first. I'm glad that you've been doing that, Christina. I'm glad you've gotten into more committed action.
I've been feeling well. I mean, I can't, like, you're always in my head, so it's like, how could I
and it looks like you're in my head right now. That's
literally. But it's like, I can't, from all of this, it's like everything we've been doing in Millennial Mentorship and everything we've been speaking about, it's just like, it's just normal. Now, analysis paralysis is just so normal for like a human. And like for me to kind of just
common.
It's very common.
Common.
And it's like now I can recognize that it's just common, and I can just get over it and just
move on. Just say yes.
I've been doing a lot of I've been visualizing a lot. Like I've been really focusing on that. Like,
and don't think a lot, right? I tell people all the time, like, just don't think a lot. Just go, because if you think too much, then that's it. The more you think, the more you'll talk yourself out of something. Don't think. Just say yes and go. Yes and go.
But there's a difference between thinking and visualizing. Absolutely.
Visualizing is completely different.
Exactly.
Now, because that's putting emotion to it as well and building out your dream. Yes. Millennial Mentorship, I'm glad you brought that up. For people who want to be in our Millennial Mentorship program, it is part of it's a member perk for Living.Fit.Club. So go to LivingFit.Club. And you could go through a whole program that we have. What do we have, like 40-something videos in there?
Yeah, there's over 30.
I think it's over 40. I think we have a whole training program in there that'll take you through this. Everything from fundamentals of wealth to your mindset to, your brand and building your personal brand and just, how to build out your future, and it applies to everything. So go over to LivingFit.Club, become a member. Once you get in there, you'll see a tab that says Millennial Mentorship. Even though it's geared towards millennials, the tone of it's for everybody. Everybody will benefit from it. So go in there and you'll be able to see a lot of what we're talking about. And of course, we're going to continue posting here, right? Mm-hmm. Continue doing this and helping everyone. All right, guys, say yes. Say yes. Committed. Yes. And then go into action. All right. Bye.
Bye.